We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming and what was supposed to be Sharks postgame wrap with breaking news out of Las Vegas in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders have fired offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, who was in his first year with the team. Chip Kelly, I think, came from Ohio State. Raiders paid him a lot of money and just didn't work out. His offense was one of the worst offenses in the NFL. And he has now been let go after, I believe, 11 games into the season. The Raiders are now 2-9. They fell flat to the Browns today. My thoughts on it is, first of all, I just want to welcome you guys. This was supposed to be Sharks post-game show. Sharks beat the Bruins in a very exciting, very incredible game. And hopefully my guy Ben Cruz can jump on with me in a little bit, just talk a little bit about the game. But we've got to start with this breaking news. Chip Kelly out as offensive coordinator. My thoughts on it is plain and simple that it had to happen. I'm surprised the Raiders actually did it. I didn't think they were going to do it because, the guy got paid like he got paid $6 million a year. They lured him from Ohio State and they paid him $6 million a year, and his offense sucked. Like, let's face it, his offense flat out sucked. Geno Smith looked like crap. They couldn't run the ball. You can say the offensive line was bad and all of that other stuff. He needed to go. But I didn't think the Raiders were actually going to do it because would they eat the money? Because $6 million a year, that's like head coach money, right? That's like firing a head coach. But for them to actually do it, number one, it seems to me that Pete Carroll is going to keep his job because I don't think that you fired Chip during the season if you're not going to keep Pete Carroll. So this move means that Pete's coming back. And then also this move had to happen because Chip Kelly is not made for the NFL. I'm sorry. He's just not made for the NFL. His style of offense, he thinks he's like the smartest man in the room. And he thinks he can just out scheme everybody when, let's face it, all these NFL defense coordinators that he's going up against have like so much level of experience and expertise that Chip Kelly just doesn't. And you just see it. No adjustments. Schemes are crap. He's running a college scheme versus NFL defensive coordinators. Like, it just didn't work. And he had to go and I'm interested to see who the Raiders hire because assuming that they have to keep Geno for another year because they signed him to a big extension. And then, there's not really a lot of great quarterbacks coming out of this draft class anyways. I'm interested to see where they go with the offense. Like, I think that you probably have to maybe I'm trying to think of some offensive names. Shanahan, McVay tree. I know Pete Carroll, when he was in Seattle, when Russell Wilson was having his great years that he was having, he was actually doing it with Shanahan and McVay offense coordinators that ran those offenses, like Shane Wardron and also Brian Schottenheimer as well. As we welcome in a very surprising guest to the program, I didn't even realize he was going to be on. I realized we were going to have him on tomorrow, not tonight, because he's not really a big hockey fan. But if you want to talk some hockey, I guess you can jump in as well. But our resident Raider fan is in the building. James Gonzalez, what's going on, man? Thanksgiving came early for you. Chip Kelly has been fired by the Las Vegas Raiders. What's your thoughts, bro? I mean, it had to happen, right? But I didn't think you guys were actually going to do it.
Yeah, I thought they were going to probably wait till the end of the season. I thought you were literally just going to talk about this and then whatever, but man, it's another like rebuild, man. That's what I hate about it. It's another position that needs to be filled eventually. And then I think it was a 3-year deal, right? With Chip Kelly, so it was $6 million each year. I mean, you think about that, it's just awful the way that that's going down. But you could just tell with the offense. It was one of the worst, ever. Literally. They weren't giving Aston Janty the ball. There were times where they could have ran the ball. And then how many times Geno Smith was getting sacked? I mean, you could definitely say, hey, the offensive line has something to do with it. And it being injured, and then not getting the right players, not having the right wide receivers. Try to say that 8 times in a row. But when you don't make the moves, you trade people away, when you just bring in replacement players, pretty much, this is what you get. And man, it's another failed destination too for Chip Kelly. Think about that. Where has he gone? Where has he left? You think about what he was going to bring from Oregon to the Eagles, and then that didn't work there. And then what he brought to the 49ers, that didn't work there either. I know he OC'd, I think, in Ohio State last year, I want to say. And that was just the product of having, great talent around to just do whatever the hell you want. And they've done that this year as well. The fact that they traded a pick and gave Geno Smith a big 3-year deal, along with Chip Kelly, thinking that, he's just going to air the ball out. Everything's going to be just fine. And that definitely wasn't the case. I mean, other from week 1, everything has sucked, The 2 wins that they got this year, it was pure luck. I mean, just think about that.
Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriot win, and then they did lose some games close, but a lot of them were, decided decisively. So again, it's just another replacement, and it always seems like they're paying coaches off. You know what I mean? In Las Vegas, they did that with Oakland too. But I think it starts from the top, though, right? You bring in. Now, I just want to know who wanted Kelly in the first place. Was it Tom Brady? Was it John Spytak, the GM? Was it? I know it wasn't Mark Davis because he's not smart enough to make football personnel decisions. He's basically told people, "Hey, I'll spend whatever money it takes to get people." So I know it's not him, but
Right.
after a while, you make so many damn moves, and then eventually, they don't work out. Well, somebody has to be blamed. I It wouldn't shock me if Pete Carroll quits after 1 year. It really wouldn't. And I hope that's not the case. But like I always say on this show when I come on with you, which is rare, that, Pete Carroll's going to lose his joy of the sport of coaching from one season with the Raiders. And that's how bad things really are. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he was with UCLA when they're actually good. Then they got rid of him. And look at UCLA now. It's almost the same as Raiders, pretty much, where they're bad. No one cares about them. They used to be great. But yeah, Chip Kelly, somebody had to go. I mean, the offense, like I said, couldn't protect Geno Smith. Geno Smith, he does hold on to the ball too long, and I know he's always done that, or he's fumbled. You could put Pete Carroll's son into that, who coaches the offensive line. It's just he had to be the scapegoat because he makes the most other from the head coach, and you weren't going to fire the head coach. A lot of people are celebrating this from what I saw, but there's so much more to go, and yeah, you're still at the bottom, and you're gonna get a top 3 pick, whatever the case is. If you don't mess up like last year and win 2 more games. But yeah, Chip Kelly being fired, dude, it's just another step to starting over again. And I think there's gonna be more changes eventually after the season. But what I would want to see now is you let JT just run the ball well. You help his confidence, because a lot of people were calling for him to get the ball, especially nationally when they were playing the Dallas Cowboys last Monday. It felt like Geno Smith was just throwing the ball too often, or he was getting sacked, or he was just throwing bad passes, and it was just a bad. It's been a horrible season, of course. I never thought we would get to a point where we would have a season like this worse than the McDaniels era, worse than the Gruden era. And then, you know what this feels like, Isaiah? And I don't know if you were here or not in the country, but remember in 2006 when the Raiders went 2-14 in Oakland?
Yes. Art
Okay,
Shell, was it Art Shell that was coaching,
Yeah.
or was? Yeah.
Yeah, he took I think 27 years off from head coaching, and then Al Davis just brought him in, and they went 2-14. They got the first pick. They got Jamarcus Russell. Hey, they're what, 7 more losses away, I think, or 6, whatever the case is. From no, where am I at? They're 2-9 now. So
I believe
if
they
I
are
do them,
2-9. Yeah,
they're
because
two
they
and nine.
lost.
So
Yeah, they lost today. Yeah.
So they're 6 wins away from equal or a step up, a step down, or whatever, from being 2-15. Just imagine that. I really want Tennessee to win eventually, so the Raiders could get the first pick. The problem is they need a quarterback too. But the
Yeah.
draft isn't, scattered with great quarterbacks. I think that's the next draft, or the draft after that will be even better. So what I don't know what they're gonna do, but I guess it's a step in the right direction, but it's only to appease the fans. I mean, I think everybody has seen the video of Geno Smith running off the field, and he was trying to hide the middle finger, his left middle finger, but he got caught anyway, flipping off the fans. Because what doesn't help, what he said. Remember the press conference after last Monday's game? He's like, "Hey, if what was it? If your car don't start, you can blame Geno Smith. If your carpet has a stain or something, you could blame Geno Smith." So we're blaming the Raider fans. We're blaming everything on Geno Smith right now, till he is benched. Basically, I know people calling for Aiden O'Connell. We'll see if that happens. But getting back to Chip though, it's another failed spot for him. I know eventually he'll probably go back to college as an OC, and I wonder where. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's just an embarrassment right now to be a Raider fan, Raider player. In the office, out of the office, whatever you are, you just want better, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, my question to you is this: as this has completely hijacked what was supposed to be Sharks post game, but
Well, I
now
can get
it's, I
out
guess,
of here.
well, you can talk some Sharks if you want.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Pull up,
I'm not gonna be
pull up the
you.
stat.
I'm not gonna be you and be like, oh, that Russian dude or the Czechoslovakian dude scored a goal, and he scored 2 goals, and they won the hockey game. I almost said ball game. See, I
Oh
don't
my
belong
god!
here.
Hey, you're going to a Ducks game in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
I'm proud of
shout
you.
out, shout out
There you-
the. I think they're in the second place in the. Is it the Pacific Division? I don't know
I
what it's called.
don't worry. I get it screwed up all the time. Like before, I said it was the
What is
Western
it though?
Division. I think it's the Pacific. I think that's what
It's
it's
the
called.
Pacific. Okay, so the Ducks, like, I don't have a team, but since
Well, why
they're
don't you
like,
jump on the Sharks? Jump on the Sharks, and we can make it a Shark
do you
post
realize what
game.
you just? Do you realize what you just said right now?
What? You said you don't have a
Jump,
team.
jump on the Sharks. No one has ever done that and survived.
Oh my gosh.
Think about that. Think about. Well. Hey, let's just say the way you think about jumping our Sharks is differently, but that's a private joke between you
Oh
and
my
I.
god, oh my gosh. But
Yeah, let's
I
just say that.
mean, but here's the thing though. Back to the Raiders. Is Pete gone now? But for me, it's like this move tells me that he's not, because like I don't
No,
think you let
hey,
him fire an offensive coordinator mid-season and then you fire the head coach. Like that would just be such a whack way to do things. Like I don't think you can
right.
do that. So like this means basically Pete's coming back for another year unless he
Well,
quits.
right, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think Spytech got the word from Tom Brady and Mark Davis to say, "Hey, someone has to go now." And Pete, it's your choice. But if the GM doesn't like it, or if Tom Brady isn't content with it, then we might consider firing you. So they went with what is really going wrong, which isn't really the defense, because they're getting taxed because of the 3 and outs or the fumbles or the interceptions or the bad offensive plays. So it's not the defense, but they suck too. But yeah, it was just easiest because the attention is on them. The only thing is, I'm wondering, will Brandon Carroll get fired, or will people have sympathy for him because it is Pete's son and because of all the offensive line injuries? But again,
I think
yeah,
you
somebody
know what
had
I
to go.
fear, James? You know what I fear? I fear that Pete's gonna be like, I can't fire my son. Can't do it. And that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the sticking point in the offseason is that he's
Right.
going to be like, yeah, we're keeping Brennan because even though he's the big problem, because he's my kid. And that's the
Right.
problem. This is why I hate it when like you hire your kid. It's like, shoot, you can't fire him. You just cannot do it
Well,
unless
it'd be
the
cool
kid
if you hired
steps
your,
down.
you know what Gruden did? He hired him as, I think he's still in the building too, as a strength coach.
Strength coach.
Gruden?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's okay because it's not like strategy. But Belichick, remember with Steve Belichick, I think it is? Didn't he follow him to UNC?
Yeah, both of them did.
Yeah.
Steve is at UNC as defensive coordinator, and Brian, I think, is like as like a offensive coordinator or something like that. By the way, speaking of Chip Kelly, I could see him going to UNC under Belichick because I think that right now North Carolina
Yikes.
they need a new offense. Like their offense sucks. Their defense is actually one of the best in the country, but their offense is just flat out garbage. And actually it's not Brian Belichick that's the offensive coordinator. It's actually Freddie Kitchens. Remember
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Yeah, he's the offensive coordinator at UNC right now. But Belichick and Chip Kelly's got close ties. And I
Right.
mean, I think Belichick, when Brady was there, he almost was hired as OC. So when McDaniels left, I think. So I could definitely see that. But back to the Raiders, like I don't know what do you do. Like I feel like Carroll and Spytech like are kind of in this like just not aligned. Like I think Spytech kind of
Right.
wants to build for the
Oh,
future while
yeah.
Carroll wants to win. So it's like it just they don't align. Like and then you have and I think Chip honestly was the call of Brady because Carroll and
Yeah.
him butted heads a lot. Like, and it seemed like Carroll wanted to run the football. Chip wanted to be cute and be creative. And I think, James, if I remember correctly, Pete Carroll sort of like threw Chip Kelly under the bus in one of the press conferences when he said, like, why I don't like, I wish we could run the football more, like run it, like we should just run the football more with Junty and stuff. And then Chip fired back, like, you know, if something has to happen for us to like keep running it and stuff like that. It just seemed like those two just weren't aligned offensively. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see like who you guys hire as the next OC. Like maybe a run heavy coach. I don't know who's out there. That could maybe like bring in that run heavy. Like
Well, first of all, you got to figure out who the hell's going to be your personnel.
that's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
that's the first thing that was the problem right away. Was like Pete Carroll. Okay, Pete Carroll. The first point you make about like the direction of the team, right? Pete Carroll's like, oh, I'm a winner. Like everywhere I've been, I've won. So I want to win right away. Spytech, I remember after that win against New England,
Yep.
was saying, hey, I want to preach patience. We're a
Yep.
young
Yep.
team. So right away there was um a thinking divide right there, really. So Casey King mentions, but knowing the Raiders, they will go after
I could see that. I
those.
honestly could see that.
Oh God, it
You
hurts to
know
laugh
that
because I've
some.
been sick since Thursday night.
Oh.
That rumor has been out there since what, a couple of weeks ago,
Yep. Yep.
and I would go from one horrible quarterback to another, and the other one would be, Murray, which would be more money too. Um, he has no love or heart for the game. He loves his Call of Duty games, but he don't love the football games. And in Geno Smith, he's worried about getting paid. He's like,
Mm.
oh, this is why you paid me the big bucks. Remember, he had some type of rant, like at a high school field in the summers. I don't even know where the hell he was, but he was like a volunteer or something, and he was getting into it with someone, like very immature.
Yep.
So we would go from one immature to another. Um, and then the fact that Shadur Sanders came in and actually
No.
played well, with Dion there, knowing that the Raiders could have drafted him, he would be starting too, for the Raiders if they did draft him, and they had multiple opportunities. Everybody had multiple opportunities to do it. And I always wanted to see Shadur play. I didn't want to see him against the Raiders though. It just happened to be the first start that he had against, the Raiders. But um, Yeah, this is how the season has gone. And again, it just started from the top of the coaching and then of the management where, hey, Pete Carroll says, I want to win now, and I think we can do it with the personnel we have. Spytech basically say, hey, I want to preach patience. We don't have the personnel to win right now. He didn't want to say that, but he was giving little clues.
Right.
That was a big thing. Carroll trying to save face, but at the same time you have someone being realistic, and I love being realistic. I love doing that. Um, that's why I can actually see Carroll leaving after 1 year.
Right. Right.
I could really see that. Just say, hey, you guys are so messed up here. I can't do. I'm not used to this. I thought Seattle was bad at the end, but at least we were winning games. Everybody sucks here. It's too hot here, by the way, too. I am out.
Well,
I can see that.
and guess what? If he does leave, Spytek's going to get someone from Tampa Bay because that's just like who, and that's not a big issue because I mean Tampa's a good organization, and shout out to, I mean they didn't win tonight, obviously they got blown out, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, Tampa. I mean Tampa's a good organization, but yeah, it's going to be interesting what you guys do. I mean you have issues at head coach, offensive coordinator. We don't even know if Patrick Graham's going to be back because the tackling in that game was absolutely putrid today.
It's been
Um, I,
all year
yeah.
long like that.
And then the quarterback play, like we don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Is it going to be Geno and you draft someone, or like Casey said, you go with Kyler Murray,
Oh,
like with
oh,
oh God.
oh.
But yeah, that's the Raiders firing Chip Kelly. Going away from football. Before you go, James, we got to get into that baseball story because we're going to get into more football and baseball tomorrow when we
Why
do
don't
our
we just
thing.
wait for tomorrow? Just wait for
But
tomorrow.
we,
Do
we
your
gotta but we gotta talk about it because it's breaking, or it was breaking news of the day.
yeah.
Since we
No,
gotta
just
kind of,
wait for tomorrow. You're talking about the Sharks game. Who
well,
won?
the Sharks beat the Bruins 3-1. Um,
Wow.
yeah, continuing another stretch of game or wins. I think we're 11-4. No,
Were
11 and hold on, check the records. 11, 9-2. Like I'm slowly trying to learn hockey, so I don't understand the two. The last, the two,
the
like
points that they get.
yeah. But hey, they're playing better. Celebrini and those guys are playing much better. They're gelling, which is great. They're they're doing different, rituals, James, like the one we know you like after the
Okay.
games.
No.
But
No. I have photo evidence. I can bring it up
you're
tomorrow.
no, but yeah, I mean they're playing good. I mean, it's like the Sharks, James, remind me of like the baby Oklahoma City Thunder, where it's like like
Whoa.
they have a lot of young talent, and the young talent is just starting to grow and develop, and like you're seeing progress, and I think that's what you want to see.
Mm.
It's kind of like what like what's it called? Like, yeah, it's like a rebuilding team. You're just like they're showing progress, and it's fun. And I mean, it's the fans are noticing because fans are coming back to games. Like before, the Sharks would
Good.
average they would average like 10,000 fans per game at the SAP Center, which would sit like about 20,000. But now it's like even on a weekday game, like you know this, like it's hard. Weekday games, like it's hard. Weeknight games, but they're averaging 16,000. So fans are slowly coming back.
It
But
reminds
yeah,
me of the Ducks and what they've been able to do. They've just been building and building, and they're having a good year so
yeah,
far this
yeah.
season. Casey, before I go, says good hockey going in both NorCal and SoCal, all three teams. Kings, Ducks, and Sharks. Still ways to go. That's what I was thinking last week when I was over by the pond. I was like, oh, they're doing well, but they've only just begun.
Yeah, like
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
But
find out next Friday how the Ducks are, or
how much
not
are the
this
tickets,
upcoming
by the
Friday.
way?
A good one is probably like I'll just say over 100.
Damn.
They're playing Washington, so Ovechkin it will be on the Capitals, of course.
Yep.
Are we clowns for being on a show together?
Why are we clowns for being on a show together?
I don't know. You showed me something the other day.
Oh my God!
Remember
No,
that?
we're not clowns.
And then,
We're
hey, let me tomorrow. I'll find a clown hair and then a nose, and I'll come on to the show as clowns.
Hey,
And
do it, man. Do it. But
yeah, let me go
before
find.
before you go, Angels hire Brady Anderson. What's your thoughts on that?
And
We're not gonna get into
John
that
Mabry.
tomorrow. John
On
Mabry, yeah,
no, because those would be wishes for the Angels.
yeah,
Yeah, so we'll just say, hey, tomorrow me and Isaiah will do a clown show. I'll
yeah.
get out of the clown car, put on my hair, put on my nose,
Gonna be
and
a
act
lot of
like
gobbling.
that's what
Gobble
you do.
gobble.
That's what you do at the Shark Tank. So
Oh,
I'll put on the clown mask and we'll act like we know what we're doing.
yeah, well, yeah. Tune in tomorrow for the show, James. Appreciate you coming on for the Chip Kelly firing breaking news. We got an
Why?
expert on that. Appreciate it. But let's go to the Sharks because let's go to the original point of the show, which was Sharks post game wrap. The Sharks beat the Bruins. Final score of that game was 3-1. San Jose gets a insurance goal by Colin Graff and beats Boston by a final score of 3-1 and continues their strong stretch of games that they've been playing. It was a great game, very entertaining to watch for both teams. I wish my guy Ben Cruz was here so that he could talk about his team. But I think that the biggest takeaway for me from this game is number one, how lucky are we in California to have such great hockey teams. I mean, the Kings are playing really good. I went to see them the other night. They're playing really good hockey despite the loss to the Sharks. The Sharks are one of the biggest surprises of the NHL. And then the Ducks. Look, the Ducks, everybody knew it was time to take the next step. And boy, have they taken the next step. And they've been really good this season. So if the season continues to go how it's going right now, I mean, this could be one of the best years when it comes to California hockey. But about the Sharks, by the way, shout out Casey. Me and your teams had a great game. I was there for it. It was an electrifying game. Went into a shootout, my first shootout that I got to watch ever. And I always wanted to see a shootout, to be honest. But to the Sharks Bruins game, biggest takeaway from this is Boston's got a really fun team. Nico Sturm or Marco Sturm, my bad, the head coach. He is very innovative. He's a very good, young, up and coming coach. This guy's going to be a star in the business. I said this when they hired him in Boston, and it's proving even more right. This guy is a damn good coach. His ability to motivate the players, his ability to scheme up great hockey plays. I mean, he's doing an outstanding job for the Bruins. The Bruins coming into this game were 13-10-4. Who expected Boston, after being one of the worst teams in hockey last year, to be in this position? I don't think anybody expected them to be in this position. And here they are in this position, just like the Sharks, surprising everybody, surging at the right time. I know the season just started, but they're surging at the right time and they're playing really, really outstanding hockey. So shout out to Boston. Don't be ashamed that you lost tonight. It was a fun battle between two up and coming teams, and Boston's going to have a bright future. They have a bright future, and they're going to be fun to watch for years to come, especially when James Higgins joins them next year. But to the Sharks, look, Macklin Celebrini, I don't know how much more praise that I can harp on this kid. I mean, this kid, like I said, he does things every single night that just blows your mind. He is just unbelievable to watch. He phenomenal offensive player, is always in the right spot. And then when he gets the puck, I mean, he's got great wrist that he just flicks it in, and it's super lightning fast. There's just nothing more for me to say. I mean, this kid is so impressive. He scored his 14th goal of the night or 14th goal of the year tonight. He's just phenomenal to watch. He's so much fun. And, I mean, the guy is in his second year, and he's going to get better and better and better, and he's already playing at an MVP level. That just shows you how great this kid's going to be. And then you got all the young talent behind him with Will Smith, Askarov, and we'll talk about him in a little bit, the goalie, Colin Graff as well. But yeah, Celebrini's awesome. I don't think that needs to be said any further. I mean, he's just so fun to watch. I've been ragging a lot on the goalie in the past and how the goalkeeping situation is for the Sharks. But shout out to Yaroslav Askarov. This guy was one of the most highly touted prospects in terms of goalies in the National Hockey League, and he's been phenomenal like the last month. I don't know what happened to him, how he turned it around, but shout out to him. He turned it around. He's playing really, really outstanding hockey as a goalkeeper. He's doing great things. And, he's a guy that, he reminds me of guys like Martin Jones and Antti Niemi and those guys. Like, this guy's playing really good goalkeeping hockey for the Sharks. And it's just so fun to watch whenever he's out there. Like, his ability to thwart away shots, like, it's just so fun to watch. He had a phenomenal night tonight, and the defense is slowly getting better for the Sharks. But also, guys like Colin Graf. I've said this before. Colin Graf is one of the most outstanding passers in the NHL. He doesn't get a lot of the love and respect that he does around the national media. Well, we're going to give him that respect that he deserves. He's outstanding. Like Celebrini, he's always in the right place, right time. And he's a really good defensive player. Like, he'll get on you. He'll be able to thwart the attempts that you make. Like, he's just tremendous as a defensive player. And I want to give a shout out to Shakir Mukhamadullin. Shakir Mukhamadullin has been injured. He's been in the lineup, out of the lineup. But when he plays, I mean, this dude's a difference maker. I mean, the ability to be at the right place, right time, and score that first goal tonight, I mean, it was outstanding to watch. His defense was tremendous tonight on the Boston Bruins. It just really stood out to me, the game that he played tonight. So shout out to you, Mukhamadullin. But yeah, this this was supposed to be just the Sharks post-game show, but it ends up being I guess you can call it the Midnight Express now. I guess the Midnight Express has been Sharks post-game. But folks, let's get into some comments, because I know we have a lot of comments on our hands right now. We got a if you guys want to hop on and talk some hockey, talk some Chip Kelly getting fired, feel free to hop on. I will put the link of the stream in the comment section on both Facebook and also on YouTube. You can just click on it and then jump in. All right. Casey King says that Chip Kelly is overrated. I completely agree with you. When he got hired by the Raiders from Ohio State, I said, look, this is not going to work out, because all you guys are saying that he did so great in last season with Ohio State. He did so great with winning the national championship and stuff like that. Dude, first of all, when you coach at Ohio State, like, you basically don't even need to really coach. You have such great talent. You could just like scheme up the simplest plays and you will look like a god out there. And also, like, with Chip, here's the thing. Coaching in the NFL is different than it is in college. It really is. It's different. And, it's so different that you gotta, you're going up against a bunch of defensive coaches that have a lot of expertise and a lot more knowledge than a lot of these college guys. So, and you're going up against a lot of complex schemes. So, like, I knew when he got hired, this was not going to work out. And sure enough, it didn't work out. Let's see. Casey also says that maybe the Raiders, they can get Mac Jones next year. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, I could see it. Cheap 1 year, hold it down type of quarterback. Mac has definitely resuscitated his career. But I could also see, and also, he played for the Patriots. Brady knows him from that organization, so I could see that. But I think for the Raiders, if that happens, you got to bring in a Shanahan-style offensive coordinator that can help him out. Maybe like a Mike LaFleur from the Rams that runs the same system that McVay and Shanahan does. Speaking of head coaching candidate, for the Raiders, honestly, if I'm the Raiders, I'm taking a look at Mike LaFleur if Pete Carroll steps down. Young, fresh, runs the Shanahan offense. He's done a great job with Shanahan and also McVay now in LA. Like, this is a guy that I've been really high on ever since he was with the Niners. I think he's a really bright offensive mind. I would not mind seeing Mike LaFleur as the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that would be a great hire for them. But if not, he could be the offensive coordinator, definitely. But all right, let's get into, since we've started the show, it's kind of been going football, hockey. Let's get into some other NFL stuff. The Bengals lose to the Patriots. New England, look, they are one of the great teams. They are a team that can beat you in any type of way. And you know what also makes them a great team is the fact that when they're down, they don't have that panic in them that you're like, oh crap, we're down, we're panicking, we're gonna lose. No, they have that belief we're gonna come back every time. And I'm very impressed with what New England has done this season. I think it's been tremendous to watch, and it's a testament to Mike Vrabel and the culture that he's building there in New England. And the Patriots, look, they're going to be a scary team to watch in the postseason because they have a great defense. They got a young quarterback that doesn't have to just rely on him throwing the football 30 to 40 times. They run the football effectively. They've got a punishing offensive line that plays bully ball. They're going to be fun to watch. And I think that, especially in that environment, Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, that's going to be fun to watch postseason time, especially with the weather there in New England. So I think that for the Patriots, they are a really good football team. And this established that for the Bengals, the Bengals just suck, plain and simple. Their defense played a lot better today, but now it's the offense that can't go in. They just can't put 2 and 2 together. With Cincinnati, I think that, why are you even trying to bring Joe Burrow back at this point? You're 3-8. You got the Ravens coming up, then you got the Bills, then you got the Chiefs, then you got the Ravens and Steelers again. What are you even doing? You're entering the hardest part of your schedule. You're 3-8. You lose one more game. You clinch a losing record. What are you even doing? Rushing your quarterback who has had so many injuries, who has had a lot of money tied up to him. You're going to rush him back for what when the season is lost? I just don't get it. I don't think they should be rushing Joe Burrow back. I think they should just sit him out for the rest of the season. It just makes no sense. It's organizational malpractice what they're doing in Cincinnati. Let's talk about that Rams Buccaneers Sunday Night Football game. Just a tremendous show of force by the Rams. The offense was clicking all night. I was watching that game and the Sharks game, both games. The Rams offense just lit it up tonight. The defense, I think, is the biggest story, though, in this game. The ability to pressure Baker Mayfield, make him uncomfortable, just shut down the weapons. I have never really believed in Tampa Bay. I think they are a fraud. I think that, they're probably going to be a first-round exit. But and that now makes the 49ers-Panthers game all that more important, because if the Panthers somehow go into Santa Clara tomorrow and stun the 49ers, well, guess what? Tampa Bay and Carolina are going to be tied in the division. And who had that, on Thanksgiving, on the bingo card. So, the Rams, I think, are the best team right now in the NFC. The Patriots, in my opinion, are the best team in the AFC. Philadelphia, I have not been a big fan of them. Their offense is too inconsistent. They make really dumb play calls, in critical situations that you just cannot have. So, I think that for the Eagles, I think they've lost their luster, to be honest. And I don't think that, I think right now the Rams would beat the Eagles pretty handily. So, that's my thoughts on that game. Niners, Panthers, that's going to be a fun game tomorrow. Levi's. Look, the Niners cannot take the Panthers for granted because the Panthers are a pretty damn good team. They don't really scare you on paper, but Bryce Young is a pretty solid quarterback now. He's playing really good. And also, you look at what they have, right? Ted McMillan, the wide receiver, rookie from Arizona, he's been playing really solid football. The Niners' problem is like they've had the issues of not being able to get after the quarterback. So the Bryce Young worries me. His ability to extend plays, his ability to just throw the football down the field to McMillan, that kind of worries me, especially with our banged up secondary. I think the Niners will be able to score points to be able to they'll be able to score a lot of points against the Panthers defense, because I don't really trust the Panthers defense. But can the Niners defense stop the Panthers is my biggest question. And I think I think tomorrow is honestly going to be a shootout, because you got two good offenses with not so good defenses going at it. And I think it's going to make for a shootout tomorrow night. For the Niners and the Panthers. It's going to be fun on Monday Night Football with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Casey says the Bucks may not win the division, as the Panthers could still win the NFC South. Yeah, I predicted that the Panthers would actually win the division coming into the season. So that actually might hit. So yeah, that's going to be a crazy fight down to the finish line for sure. All right, let's get into some baseball before we end the show tonight. It's been a really good show, really unexpected to talk about all these different subjects here, but let's get into the big trade of the day. The Rangers start off the MLB hot stove off season with a bang and fire up the stove with a big trade. Texas continues its teardown. They non-tendered Adolis Garcia on Friday. They non-tendered Jonah Heim on Friday, and they also today traded Marcus Semien in a stunning blockbuster to the Mets for outfielder Brandon Nimmo. Guys, my thoughts on this trade is that because you guys know me, I'm a big Rangers fan. I've been a Rangers fan ever since 2023. So that's my team. As you guys can see right there with me and Wyatt Langford. A couple of things about this trade that I want to talk to you guys about. This trade, you kind of see it two ways. The first way is this. It's a good trade for the Rangers, because I think what the Rangers have told us this offseason's priority is to, number one, cut costs, get younger, and get rid of the players that, yeah, they did a great job helping us win in 2023 when we won the World Series, but their time is up. They're no longer themselves what they were back then. You saw what happened. Adolis Garcia getting released, Jonah Heim getting released as well, or non-tendered, both of them. But with Semien, he's not the same player anymore. Like, the guy has been going down ever since, 2023. He had a really good 2022 season with the Rangers. He had a really good 2023, but other than that, he's just been on a decline. And I think Texas just felt like that he wasn't going to be the same again, and they found a taker, surprisingly, for that big contract. Didn't think someone was going to take him, but they found a taker, and getting Brandon Nimmo was really good, because you non-tendered Garcia, so you lost a lot of power there, but you replaced him with a guy in Nimmo who batted 265, hit for average. He's also really good when it comes to slugging home runs. He hit 26, I believe, and drove in a lot of RBIs. This guy, puts the ball in play. He hits for power. He hits for average. It's a really good move for the Rangers, and it goes back to, I think, Skip Schumacher's philosophy, which is no home run or strikeout. It's put the ball in play and let's work the count. And I think that this is really good. I like the move to get Nimmo. I've always liked Nimmo as a player, and I think he will fit in seamlessly in Arlington. I'm just sort of sad that the core of 2023 is over. Semien's gone, Adolis Garcia's gone, Jonah Heim is gone. I'm just sad about that. And the other way to look at it is, look, if you're willing to trade Semien, which is a big gutsy move by the Texas Rangers, you're going to be willing to probably trade Seager, or shop him at least, and shop Evaldi, and shop DeGrom. And that's kind of my biggest fear is now with, you trading Semien, and non-tendering Garcia, non-tendering Heim. Are you trying to just tear it down and do a retool? Not a rebuild, not a full rebuild, but do a retool? Is that what you're trying to do here? Because there's rumors that Seager could be traded, and those rumors don't pop up, especially from Texas beat writers out of nowhere. So I could definitely see that now. I could see that, especially with the money tied up to Seager. It would hurt badly to trade Seager because he's such a cornerstone of our franchise. He's a World Series MVP. He's going to have a statue one day. I still think he's the one of the best players in all of baseball. Only problem is he doesn't stay healthy. But if you trade Simeon, all things are now on the table. Like, could you trade Evan Carter? He's always hurt. Josh Young, I think, is a primary trade candidate now because he feels like a guy that could use a fresh start. But yeah, there's a lot of questions moving forward. Like, what's the direction of this team? Are you trying to rebuild? Are you trying to retool? Are you trying to just, I'm thinking maybe you're just trying to get younger. And if that's the sense, then okay, we're trying to get younger, cut costs while trying to win. Then for me personally, I think that, first of all, Jonah Heim getting to non-tendered, I'm not surprised by that. He had a good 2023, but like Simeon fell off a cliff, just not the same. Automatic out in 2024 and 2025. His defense also dipped as well. Getting rid of him is not a surprise. I think honestly, if you're the Rangers, I'm looking at Adley Rushman. From the Baltimore Orioles. I think the Orioles are more inclined to move him now that they have Samuel Basallo, the young rookie, as their catcher. Catchers translating to or going to first base. It doesn't always work out, and plus the Orioles have a pretty good first baseman as well. So I could see his days in Baltimore being numbered, and there's been a lot of rumors surrounding him too. So if you're the Rangers, you should get in on this Adley Rushman sweepstakes because I don't think like that would cost like a massive haul to get him. He's also still very young. He's a guy um that has a lot of talent as well, and I think him in Arlington would really really help, and he could be your catcher for like 10 years. If you get him in Texas, and still you like it goes with what I've been saying. You can get him and still like you would cut costs and also you would still be winning. So I want to see that. I also want to see Sean Murphy with the Braves get traded because he's a lot of pop. Great defender as we know. He's a guy that I think his bat would play very well in Arlington. And he's a guy that would be an upgrade over what you had with Jonah Heim. So that's some of my targets for the Rangers catching position. Now you also need a second baseman, right? Like, are you moving Josh Smith over to second base? Are you like going to trade Josh Young? I don't know because I know his name has been floated out there. You're trading Seager. Like, if you trade Seager, like obviously you're going to be in a rebuild. But if you're interested trying to cut costs and win, then I think a couple candidates: Luis Ariz, who has connections with Skip Schumacher, the new manager of the Rangers from his days with the Marlins. He's a guy that puts the ball in play, contact hitter, fits everything that the Rangers are looking for. And also, how about Alex Bregman? I mean, the Rangers have said, yeah, we want to cut costs, but I mean, you need a second baseman now. He played second base in Boston for a little bit last season. He also could play third. You could trade Young and you could put him in third and, have Seager at short. That would definitely fortify your defense. But yeah, I think that's definitely what it's going to be a fascinating offseason for the Rangers. This is the start of it. I think Texas is definitely going to lead the way when it comes to the moves. I mean, they already started off the hot stove season with the bang, but and I want to see Merrill Kelly back. I think Merrill Kelly, you traded a lot to get him. You got to sign him again. We need a win with pitching, right? And we got Leiter, we got Evaldi, we got DeGrom. I mean, I think you got to bring back Merrill Kelly. He was pretty solid for Texas down the stretch. But anyways, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody for coming on tonight. Thank you so very much. We're going to have a Thanksgiving special tomorrow night with myself and James Gonzalez and maybe more guests. So tune in tomorrow night. We'll talk football. We'll recap the entire NFL slate. We're going to get into some, including Monday Night Football. We're going to get into some NBA stuff. We're going to get into some baseball and stuff like that and some Thanksgiving fun. So you don't want to miss that. But guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the Midnight Express. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving. Have a good night, everybody.